All right, welcome everybody to the Mad Dog Collection inside the lair, the poster lair here. And we brought a guest today, Jeremy. How do you pronounce your last name again?
Buzash.
Buzash. It's a cool name. Looks good on paper. Said it before. So anyways, we are here today, and we brought in our very special guest today, who is a comic art collector, amongst other things. And when I say comic, I mean video game. And he has brought along some incredible pieces that we will be profiling today, because the world needs to see what Jeremy has brought to the Mad Dog Collection today. So Jeremy, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you.
So, the very first piece is
Wow.
from a Game Boy game
Wow.
called Tailgater.
This is incredible.
And this piece is painted by Mark Fredrickson, who's a very renowned illustrator. Dennis the Menace, the poster art for the movie, that's also Mark Fredrickson.
So this is just an incredible piece here. Now you're saying that this is a cover for Game Boy, right?
Yeah,
This is
Natsume. It's a very obscure Game Boy game, a good platformer, published and developed by Natsume, released
Wow.
in 1991, and I believe this is Mark Fredrickson's very first video game piece that he ever did.
Oh my God! When you just look at the detail, like I guess it's what's famous about this is the perspective, right? Like
Yeah.
how it kind of warps, like how it's.
Yeah, he's known especially for this fisheye lens kind of
Right,
perspective.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Just look at this. Just like screams video game cover art to me. Like even the without any titles or anything, just like the style, and like you just look at the fine details.
Yeah.
So this is airbrush.
Airbrush, acrylics, yeah.
Wow.
Incredible fine brush details you can see in the feathers here, the individual little brush
wow.
strokes.
I want to go close here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at that. And I just like, even if we get the glare from the, like, you see how, I don't know, you can just see all the different mediums that were used, or I don't know if it's different mediums or just maybe different layering that he's done, but it would be very difficult really to achieve this perspective, and clearly he's not drawing from life here. Like,
yeah.
You know, like to get that kind of warped fisheye. It's fisheye, but it's also warped.
Yeah, right.
Right? And like, you know, how would you draw this foreground character in that perspective is just like incredible. Now like this is a Nike, eh?
Yeah, although I don't think it's officially licensed, so they
Oh.
kind of got away with ripping off Nike here, I think.
Is that visible on the cover?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
actually,
God.
interestingly about this piece, Limited Run Games recently re-released this game because it's so expensive and hard to find on Game Boy.
Right.
And so they actually did not have access to a good scan of the original painting. So
you kept it under vault, eh?
yeah, so I had this piece photographed, and they republished the game with a new photograph.
So you've shared this with Limited Run Games?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and such a large painting for such a tiny box. Like it seems
Wow.
like he never went small.
Yeah, I just love the size. I just love
Yeah.
the sheer size of this piece. I love how this is a very frameable, and as you can see the posters behind us here, this is like frameable. This is like a size of a one sheet almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what's next.
Here's something very interesting. This is the original cover art to Dark Horse's comic book, The Sith War #3 by Hugh Fleming. And
From what year about?
So this is 1995. I
Okay.
believe. And this is the very first appearance of a double-bladed lightsaber in Star Wars.
Wow. Like ever.
Ever.
Of anything. So
Of anything.
Because when as a kid, I remember from The Phantom Menace was the first time I ever saw one.
Yeah.
So the first time that the public had ever seen a double-bladed lightsaber was on the cover of this comic.
Yes.
And you own the painting. So you own the first ever painted double lightsaber.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so great. Like I love, first of all, like very stylistically, like you can see all the speckling of the paint splatter, which gives it. And by the way, like that would take balls to. You finish a painting like this, and then you're flicking your brush, the paint on it.
Right.
What if you get too much, or what if it screws something up? Like, first of all, Hugh Fleming has balls.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's an old Republic story, so it's like 4,000 years before the movie.
Oh, okay.
And this character, Exar Kun, was a Jedi turned dark, Sith Lord.
Right.
And this is him fighting his former master on the floor of the Senate in combat. So he kills his master in this episode.
So it kind of mirrors like society today.
That's right.
Stylistically, it's great. You know, I love, you know, the colors. You know, I like when they use like yellows yellows, oranges, and blues as your highlight and shadow instead of just like your, you know, normal. So, yeah, that looks awesome. The lightsaber, just how they achieve that effect.
Yeah.
Like it looks brighter than white, just the way that he's achieved this.
Right.
Like it, you know,
yeah,
it comes
off
like it's brighter
glowing.
than it. Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's glowing, and it's just that's very cool. Wow.
Yeah, and you can see like the brush stroke. You can see like the whirling effect.
Yeah, what is
across.
that?
I don't even know how he achieved that.
like this. What is that? It goes through all the different details. Like it's like almost like a translucent paint, is it, to give it an effect? Because it shows. Like when you look, you can see that. I bet you that even shows in the comic. You can see the action lines almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a gesso or something. You know?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So, how are you going to top that?
Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's go to some more obscure game history.
Sure.
I have a couple unreleased video game covers.
Okay. For which system?
For Super Nintendo.
Wow.
Yeah. These are both IREM games.
They're which?
IREM. So
Okay.
the publishing company.
Right.
And I believe they were having some issues at that time, and they decided to cancel a lot of their upcoming ports.
Oh, that's interesting. What is this first piece that you're bringing?
Okay, so this first piece is the original cover painting to In the Hunt, which was
Like what cover? Like you're saying the box
the
art?
box cover.
This is the box art.
cover.
So this is essentially a Super Nintendo box cover art.
Yeah.
Is what this is.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was published on industry flyers, like CES flyers, those kinds of things. So you
Okay.
can find flyers online with this artwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was
Nice.
supposed to be the box art, and then the game was canceled. And if you saw my my artwork for R-Type 3, this is the same artist.
Ah, and it looks like it.
Yeah.
It does, like this creature. Eh?
Very similar technique, yeah.
Ah, that's so cool. And I like how you can see the different techniques, like just through the glare here, like it doesn't catch on the creature, like which is airbrush, and then there's brush strokes all over the rest of this, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love oh wow, just look at I love the angle of like his teeth. They're not teeth, but it's like they're jagged.
Yeah.
And they're the same colors as skin and all of his gills and everything. I just look at the detail on the gills actually. Oh wow, yeah, all those little brush strokes. I just even love the highlights on the tongue here
Yeah.
of the little, textures. Wow.
Yeah. Mark is an incredible artist.
It
Very
is.
big fine artist now.
Yeah, the details on this are just incredible. His signature's not right here, is it? No.
I don't know if he
No,
signed
no,
this
it's
one.
not.
No, I don't think so.
It's just like little manholes.
So, same artist now. Another unreleased Super Nintendo game. This is the original box artwork for Undercover Cops.
Wow. So this dude in the foreground, like with the nightstick or whatever, that's obviously Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah,
Because he's
that's
got his fingers taped and everything.
Yeah. Right, so here's the industry flyer for the game.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's the same artwork, but you said it's also the video game box art.
Yeah.
So-
And they cropped it. It's like this.
Oh, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Super Nintendo, yeah.
Wow. Let's get a close up of Macho here.
I love the detail in the hair.
Yes. Wow, and his part like it stops halfway down, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, he's got a comb over in the front, eh?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's what you do when you want to have a mullet, but you don't.
Right.
You have to comb over in the front.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And this is like right out of that era where it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and big WWF wrestlers. This was a macho era.
Yeah.
So that's just awesome. All right, we've seen some cool video game artwork. Now we're going on to
We are going to go on to some anime artwork.
nice.
Another series I'm very passionate about is Full Metal Alchemist. Just after the era when painted cells stopped becoming the norm for anime
Right.
production.
Okay.
Yeah, so the artwork for a series like these from this era would be detailed line drawings that they would then scan and finish digitally.
And backgrounds maybe? Or?
Yeah, and backgrounds too.
Right.
Yeah, so this comes straight from Bone Studio in Japan.
Like this is straight from the studio.
Yeah. So this was used for promotion for the movie. It's a 2-page spread. So this is the right side of it, and then this is the other side of it.
Wow.
The left side of the spread.
That's amazing.
Yeah. These are the original pencils.
Wow.
And then behind it is a photocopy with the shading and the colors for when they transferred it digitally.
That looks really cool, actually. I love the color there.
Yeah.
You got in contact with this artist, and you bought like a mother load of covers. Like how many covers do you have?
Yeah, so there was about 29
And you have them?
in the lot, yes.
Oh my god. So you have 29 covers. So the first piece that you're showing us here.
Yeah, so this is for this is to advertise the Stargate video game.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, and this is a magazine cover from the UK, Games Master magazine.
Wow. Now, is this the one that we were talking about where he paints this beautiful painting? I mean, and you see he's ripping it out of the pages of the magazine, I'm assuming. And you got the pyramids and the stars. Is this not the cover where it's an extreme close-up at the end? So, like, you get all this beautiful art, and at the end of the day, this is the magazine cover, just like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I was really shocked when he showed me the photograph of the painting, because it's like, oh my god, it's huge. There's so much to it, and you don't see anything.
That's amazing. And like, I like even the twilights of the stars. Like, if you really look at it, I mean, that's simple stuff, but I just love just simple. It's nice and elegant.
Yeah.
The sky is beautiful. I love how it's like purples and pinks. And then just this really badass Egyptian monster.
Yeah.
I like really saturated colors, and I love how this has the oranges and the blues are about my two favorite colors that you can use for like highlights and shadows. I just love that. So no, that's an incredible piece. Wow.
If you like oranges and blues, this next one you will quite like. This is done in oils.
This is an oil.
This
oh
is an
wow,
oil
oil, not acrylic.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you know how to tell, or is like obviously he told you, I guess.
Yeah, he did tell me.
Okay, because I'm still a little unclear how to. I guess it's really a lot more oily.
Yeah, I would think, yeah.
It's interesting that he would have done oil, like simply because, you know, this is a timely thing. When you're an artist, it's like how many hours are you putting into it, and if you're using oil, like that's got to dry for 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, before you can do anything. And then if you're doing any modifications, right? Because I guess, is it true that the video game developers or whatever would request changes often, and then they would make changes on the original art?
That did happen sometimes.
Wow.
Yes.
Like, hey, we're gonna put the title, the hand has to be lower or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that actually happened with a Mega Man cover, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Greg Winters had to repaint over the face or something.
But he didn't repaint the gun.
Oh no, that's Mega Man 2. That's a different artist entirely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a cool, and again, as you're saying, it's like oranges and blues and greens.
Yeah. So this is
Wow.
another Games Master painting.
Yeah, the orange is just so vibrant on this.
Yeah.
Very cool. Definitely a magazine cover. Like, there's lots of room for the details of the issue here, and then you got the title above.
Yeah.
And then you got the orange and white and yellow in the background. Very cool. So, sorry, what game is this again?
Cybernator.
Cybernator?
Yeah.
For what
Super
system?
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Nice. I just want to hold up like all three of these just in one shot, just because it just to see how cool it looks. I would get the orange in the middle actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, hold that to the side. Oh, okay, crap, that one has the.
Here, I'll take the.
Yeah, just like seeing the three of them. Maybe hold them up just a little bit. Just seeing the three of them like together, like that looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like just an amazing set.
Yeah.
Of three, never mind 29. If I had 29, we'll be here all day holding them.
Right.
Need the football team to hold them up. So, Jeremy, he's brought a portfolio of top secret stuff with him that it's not camera ready yet, because we know that all you video game art collectors out there, are watching. So just kidding. I don't know how many people are watching, but so anyways, that was amazing. Like I appreciate you bringing all this stuff by. I mean, that's amazing, and it's great to see a little window into video game art. I collect a lot of different art, and illustration art, and comic art, and whatever. And yeah, that's amazing because there's a lot of crossover things, and like I know you brought movie poster paintings. A lot of these guys did movie poster paintings.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So are you working currently on any other big leads?
Yeah, I mean, I think as collectors we all sort of plant seeds.
Right.
You never really know when they're gonna sprout. So
right.
I've had emails from finds that I've reached out about 3 years later. Someone finally found something, or yeah. So you just never know.
That's amazing.
You just kind of put it out there to the people you keep in contact with, and
that's amazing.
And when things do sprout, you hope they think of you.
For sure. Like one thing I love about the video game collectors market is like don't get me wrong, there's some big time collectors, but what I love is that it's such a collectible in the sense that like you could have all the money in the world and it means nothing. The person that's getting the finds are the people that are doing the legwork, that are dedicating themselves to the hobby, right? And that's why, you have a much better video game art collection than some of the wealthiest game collectors or whatever. They would pay the money for the stuff, but you don't get it like that, right? Like there's almost nothing comes to auction, and if it does, they're going, significant. But that's what I love about it. And but it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, Dan just takes all the fun out of it. I mean, anyways, the problem is when someone's too good at it. I mean, it's like he's like Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, well, the people who had the foresight, 15 years ago to start buying this stuff.
That's amazing.
I
love that.
They're the real.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think he's such a great person to be the caretaker of it. But I mean, come on, Dan, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, can you not stop already? Like, do you need another piece? Yes, he does. He's like me. Who am I to talk?
It's an endless question.
Who am I to talk? No, that's amazing. But it's amazing to me too that you are still able to find stuff.
Yeah, I think I actually got into it kind of at the perfect time.
When did you start?
I got my first piece in late summer of 2019. So I traded a sealed Canadian copy of Super Metroid to a friend in Canada who's also an art collector.
Curtis?
Yeah, Curtis.
Okay.
Yeah, so
he's the only guy in the world that collects Canadian variants.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And
he asked me if I have any. I thought, what do I want that stuff for? I'm just kidding. It's good stuff. I actually have some, by the way, Curtis, and you got some stuff I need, so let's talk.
Yeah, so I got my first Super Nintendo painting off of him, and it was the cover for Rap Jam.
You got that? So, okay, and I know who has that now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but that was my very first piece, and I remember that our first conversation, he just kind of like threw me some photos of some stuff he had.
And that was in 2019?
Yeah.
I guess because it's traded hands since, you don't want to say what you paid for it, I guess.
Well, I mean, I traded for it, so technically I didn't pay anything. But
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you trade for it again?
A sealed copy of Super Metroid Canadian variant.
That's it?
Yeah.
Whoa, Curtis! Hit me up, man! I got a few.
That seems silly. But,
if you got some Super Nintendo paintings, cover art, Curtis? I have Canadian variant Super Mario World. Let's make a direct trade. Oh my God,
yeah,
Curtis!
So that really.
What are you doing?
That really started everything off.
Wow! So you started with a Super Nintendo cover, which is like a Grail kind of piece today.
Yeah.
Do you regret?
It's a pretty low tier cover.
Did you regret sending that off?
Yeah, I regret selling it.
What did you get for it, or is that not public? Or
yeah, I probably shouldn't say.
Okay.
It's fair to who owns it now, but
right.
But I feel like any Nintendo cover or Sega for that matter these days is kind of a real treasure, because the only things one can really hope to find are
in Dan's collection.
Dan's collection.
Oh.
Yeah, so that really started everything off.
Wow.
For sure, was that piece.
Wow. That's amazing. And like,
and then the pandemic,
right.
It was terrible for so many people, but for me it ended up being sort of a blessing in disguise, because it gave me the time to just sit down and actually throw myself into this nonstop.
Right.
And that's how I found the majority of my collection.
Wow.
2020, yeah.
So you started doing it the traditional way, like just entertain me for just a moment.
Yeah.
I'm you in 2020, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, the light bulb goes off. Oh my God, this Rap Jam painting is incredible. And it's just like a new world has opened up to you. And I mean, you would have probably been in contact with someone like Dan early on and been like, holy spit, like look at how many pieces are available and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but anyways, now you're like, I'm in the game. What was your steps? Like, what were you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm a musician.
Uh-huh.
That's my profession.
Right.
So, for me, it's difficult to buy things from collectors. I didn't have that option really.
Right.
So for me, it was like, okay, if you don't hunt it yourself, you're not going to be able to really afford anything.
Right.
So, for me, it was about sitting down and doing the research, just cold hard, going through covers, going through magazines.
Okay, so just take me through like you're saying, going through covers, going through magazines.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so just like, are you pulling up Nintendo Power and flipping through, and every ad you're looking for a signature, or you're looking in the credits of the magazine, like art credited to?
Yeah.
Like, so that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then and maybe you're assuming that like Nintendo Power is already covered, probably.
Yeah, I never really looked at Nintendo Power.
No, it's a waste of time. But now it is. But like you're looking at like a Game Pro, like you're looking because and is the thinking that if you find the advertisement artist, they probably did video games too, or like no one kind of knows. There's no database.
Yeah, no one really knows.
Okay.
Until you find the person, because it's all just work for hire, right?
Right.
No one really signs anything. The very minuscule time you find a signature, it's like it's cleverly hidden. So you really have to look for it.
Right. So okay, that Game Boy art for which game?
Tailgater.
Tailgater. Are you able to share where you got that?
From the artist. Yeah.
Okay, and like, so that was a very significant find.
Yeah, for sure. It's something I didn't do myself, for sure. It was something. It was a kind of a team effort to try and get a few things.
Because that artist had already sold stuff to other people. So then, like, someone's not coming around saying, "I'll buy everything." Well, we know some cases of that from the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
But like, it's weird to me that like someone hasn't already bought up all their stuff. Like, how come they still have stuff, and that I have a couple more in the closet? Like, are they just not wanting to sell everything, or are they like, did someone come in and just buy what they can afford, and they're chipping away at it little by little, and then you come in and get another chip of the block, or how does that work?
I think it's a mix of both, really.
Yeah.
It really depends. My main goal was always just kind of preservation and finding as much as I could with as much as I could afford.
Right.
Because you never know when this stuff goes to the trash or is sold
to someone else, who's maybe just a flipper or something. Right.
Yeah,
like
right.
That's, which doesn't happen a lot. Flippers aren't like, if you're a flipper that's only in it for profit, you're not going to spend 1,000 hours to get a piece here when you can buy a game to flip in 10 minutes at an auction, right?
Yeah.
So this is really a collector's sport, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So so then you made some significant finds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but as you're saying, because you're a musician, you can't hold on to everything either, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be amazing if you did.
I wish. Yeah, I wish I could keep everything.
But that's sometimes the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Like every action builds character,
Mm-hmm.
and teaches you, and maybe the fact that you have to do a little bit of horse trading and stuff opens up more doors.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, in that end.
Yeah, and a lot of the the artists I've dealt with have become friends, and
That's amazing.
keep in touch with a lot of them. And
Yeah.
I'm an artist myself, musician.
Right.
So
Right.
there's that kind of connection to
That's
what
amazing.
it's like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then again, I don't know if like do many of these artists know each other or of each other, or maybe did they know of each other in the in the 90s? Like, would Winters have known about the other Gregs, or
I would think so, because a lot of them were members of the Society of Illustrators.
Right.
So
right.
I think
right.
a lot of them would have been aware of the other big players in the field.
Right. And then is it the kind of thing where if you're buying off of one guy, you could be like, oh yeah, I know this guy and I've been dealing with this guy, and it kind of builds trust that way too, right?
Yeah,
You're not
absolutely,
just
You're not some Joe Schmo.
some dummy.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. That's amazing. Wow. So you're working on it. You have a few irons in the fire.
Yeah. Always.
You're saying. Yeah, that's good. And wow. Well, I mean, part of my problem is like I like to buy things at auction. I don't, I'm not doing what you're doing. I mean, you guys are doing it too well. But the problem is, I mean, and this is a heritage problem. They put the art after the video games, and like, how much money does somebody have? You got to pick and choose, right? Like, that's the thing, right? But you basically got to be dedicated to it, and you're dedicated to it, and it's amazing. And thank you so much for bringing this stuff by and sharing it. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing Jeremy's collection here, and maybe he'll, his 29 more of those covers that he didn't bring, or 26 more. So he's probably going to be back with more, and we look forward to what you have coming up next. Any Super Nintendo covers. We want to see.
One can only hope. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for checking in today, and we'll see you next time.